My name's Malcolm Kortner. I've worked for the Des Moines Fire Department for, I think it's been 3 years, and before that, I was with West Des Moines for 14, 15 years. Early March of this year, I was actually at work, and I had migraine headaches, like 3 of them in one morning. And so I left work. So I spent like the next 2 days in bed, which is like highly unusual for me. Like I'm just busy, like I need to be busy. And so I went to the Madison County Hospital in Winterset, which is where we live, and I had a CT in my head, and they're like, "You've got a brain tumor." Which is game-changing. You know, there's some options that get put on the table in terms of surgery and radiation and chemotherapy, but the diagnosis is not good. Like it's everybody. You know, anytime I asked anybody, like, what's the prognosis for this? It's 12 to 18 months, that's it. My cancer is covered in terms of, is it an occupational injury, basically? And so, it's not a thing that I'm overly familiar with, but I've certainly become more familiar with it. But essentially my cancer is considered an occupational injury, or that it occurred on the job. And so it's treated the same as any other injury that would occur while I was working. I think it's different for firefighters who, like, we all know that this job is inherently dangerous, and that's okay for us. Like, I think we all sign up for the job, like we've all asked to be here. But the thing that makes it dangerous for us is the stress of it is all there. So waking up in the middle of the night multiple times, going back to bed multiple times, the toxins that we're exposed to, the chemicals that compose basically everything in our homes now. There's basically no natural products in our homes anymore. They're all made from petrochemicals. And so we understand that it's dangerous work, and that it's dirty, and that we're exposing ourselves to these things. The biggest thing for me is that, especially with my cancer diagnosis and knowing that I'm going to be exposed to these things, there's like at least a little bit of a peace of mind knowing, even beforehand, that, you know what, if I get cancer, it may be one of these covered cancers, and at least you're given it a small peace of mind to say, like, hey, if you do get cancer, there's a good chance that it'll be covered. And so to have that peace of mind walking into, you know, a dangerous situation, to know that, like, hey, like, we've got you. Like, if you get cancer, like, we're gonna take care of you. Like, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. I don't think we know enough about it, about cancer, how it occurs, where it's going to occur in the body. So to separate it out, to say, like, hey, if you get primary brain cancer, it's covered. But if you get liver cancer, it's not. Like, how do we do that? Like, how do we figure out, like, where cancer is going to occur in somebody's body, and when it's going to be considered an occupational exposure or an occupational injury, when you look at cancer rates for people that work in the fire service compared to people who don't work in the fire service, like, it's obvious that people who work in the fire service get more kinds of cancer and just more cancer overall than people who don't. And so to have just cancer covered as an occupational injury, I think would be the only way that I would like to see it changed. Not for me, but for everybody else that I work with and the rest of the guys in the fire service.